myself and hopefully help someone. But what would I say to my younger self? Well, as a teenager, I was very rebellious. I wouldn't listen to advice. I think if I tried to go back and give myself some advice, I would have to like literally sit myself down, probably bring in like something super important, like open up my eyeballs and just speak to my younger self like dead on for me to listen. But I was very rebellious when I was a teenager. And I wouldn't take much advice from people. The one thing that I would probably try to tell myself, but I wouldn't listen because there were a lot of people already telling me this, is my self-image, that I was beautiful. I had a lot of people tell me this, and I did not even come close to believing them. I would probably never change anything that the decisions I had made, only because I know that things work for my good. Things that are happening, God is already working them and changing them to better myself for my future. So when I start thinking about past mistakes that I have made, I am remembering a lie. So I probably won't go back and change things. But if I could just tell myself some advice, it would probably be to stop that stinking thinking. So up until like recently, I was thinking every time I'd look at myself in the mirror, or I would want to do something, or in the past when I started to go to college, think that I wanted to complete or accomplish, I would either think it or say it out loud to myself that I was not able to do this, that I was basically a failure, I was not successful. It actually is important to discuss this because we want our eyes open to how we used to be and how we are now, and hopefully there is some growth. Also, we want to also help people that are younger than us that are actually wanting that advice. So even just maybe a year ago, again, I would look in the mirror and I would say bad things about myself. Whether I would say, oh my God, I am so ugly. Or, oh my God, I am just so fat. I need to lose weight. Or I would think whenever I would come up to something that is difficult, I would basically tell myself, I can't do it, just quit. So I would probably tell my younger self as well is stop that thinking. And to what we need to do now is think on what God thinks of us. I would tell my younger self that the way that I'm thinking of myself, my self-image, my accomplishments, my abilities, that is not the way God thinks of me. But I have to go back and remember the way, or try to remember when He first created me, I was created in His image. And those things that I am thinking about myself are not true, but they are a lie. Where do these lies even come from? Well, we were formed as we're a child, we're a sponge, and these events begin happening all around us, and they begin to form us. And now that we're adults, we're pretty hardened and sculpted already. So we kind of have to break that down, and it hurts to be remolded back into the way God thought us to be. So we want to stop that stinking thinking, and start thinking what our highest potential, what God thought of us when He first created us, and be that person. Speak that life and that positivity into ourselves. So even with our thoughts, we've got to make a pivot. We've got to change the way we think of ourselves. It makes a big difference, because once I start changing and pivoting, blossoms, fruit start to grow, and then I can be confident in who I am, and then begin to help others and share this information with other people, of course, and I can just start really, really helping people succeed and be who God called me to be.